I'm Eric Laness, coming to you from ITEXPO West here in Los Angeles, California. We're here on the opening day of our 20th ITEXPO event. I'm sitting here with Ben Levy, who is the president and CTO of Apex Voice. Ben, thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you, Eric, for having me.
Like I said, we're kicking off our 20th edition of ITEXPO here. So what are some of the things that you're seeing, some of the things that you hope to see here at the show?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, 20 years. Apex is in business for 20 years. So we've seen this industry grow as you have. Some of the exciting things that we're seeing right now is video, the adoption of video in the Middle East, and the adoption in Latin America. We're also seeing we've been talking SIP for many years, but the adoption of SIP inside of core mobile networks right now, which is making service providers creating services, enhanced services, a little bit easier.
Let's start talking about the video for a second.
Sure.
You know, obviously everybody's talking video. It's almost to the point where if you're not talking video, you're not doing you're doing something not quite right. You mentioned the Middle East. You mentioned Latin America. Why is North America a little bit behind in the video space?
I mean, that's a great question. I believe North America is behind strictly because of AT&T. If we want to put a little dig in there like the iPhone users would, AT&T is not providing video on any of their 3G services as of yet. There will be, Verizon has been hinting that there will be 3G video coming along, which will help the adoption of video-to-video calls and then for us, video services. So that we could run different video services. I mean, there's two types of videos. There's the streaming video, which is being sort of adopted, but then the video that we do is the 3G phone-to-phone and the enhanced services video.
Is there something that there's a demand on the customer, on the end user side for?
Well, in the Middle East, we're seeing a demand, specifically in Saudi Arabia. Believe it or not, the adoption of the internet isn't going as quickly as the service providers would be thinking. And they're believing that a better way of delivering these enhanced screens or videos to the user is to do it via phone call. So things like video banking and these applications that you see on your iPhone here in the US via the internet, they're believing that it's going to go well via the 3G video phone calls.
Interesting. And how does the adoption and the drive to increase the adoption rate of video, how's that playing into what Apex is doing?
Well, the adoption is key. We're doing trials all over the world. And basically, to get it adopted, you have to get it out there for free. You know, you put in trial systems, of which Dialogic has been really helpful with us in helping us supply some of the equipment in these trials. Because a video trial is actually a very expensive thing to put up in the beginning. Then once you get the trials up, they try, 10, 15 different applications. And once those applications are out there, one will stick and one goes up. Our platform is well suited for that because we're based around service creation. We have the Apex service delivery platform built around the OmniVox 3D application server, with OmniView service creation built right in. So to create applications, new applications, is quite easy. And the service providers are finding it beneficial to have that type of platform in their network.
Is that really the way providers are approaching the application market these days? Is sort of developing and doing test drives to see what works, what doesn't? Or is there a more effective way to do it?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I think the days of the one-hit wonders of applications are over. The day of the long-tail application is here. And the long-tail application is you've got to have a lot of applications out there with, let's say, 100,000 users as opposed to the one application with 10 million users. And service creation and the ability to get these applications on your network in a platform, open platforms, is beneficial.
Now, when you talk about needing to get those the tests out there, your getting on your end, getting stuff out there? Is it easy for you to get customers to test your stuff?
Yes, it is. I mean, video is very interesting, and the transition to SIP in other areas where they're not doing video is still interesting. So to get trial systems into the service providers, we go mostly into the mobile service providers. So to get these into their networks has been relatively easy. To get them to roll out it's becoming easier. We have a lot of stories where we go in with a SIP in their lab, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're ready to roll out, but their network core hardware is not ready for SIP. So we'll end up going in with a mixed environment, SS7 ready for SIP and things like that. But the platform, they're open platforms with media servers. It's easy to roll out.
So is this just a question of networks continuing to evolve, and then that just makes your end of the job easier?
That is correct. As the networks adopt the IMS architecture, as they adopt SIP as a standard backhaul, right off of the MSCs, it's easier for platforms such as ours, service providers, service delivery platforms to be installed and delivered.
Excellent. We've been chatting here at ITEXPO in LA with Apex Voice's President and CTO, Ben Levy. Ben, thank you very much for joining me.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you.